inside your bedroom. We stopped counting the days, lost in the rhythm. Physical silence, no need to speak a word. Lay here beside me. Don't wanna move too fast. Your lips on my flaws, sipping on your love, sipping on your love. I never dared to ask if we're gonna last. I'm needing all your love, needing all your love. Oh, when you, oh my God, you know you play your cards so right. Oh, I am a sucker for hearts, listen to dirty clubs and diamonds. Take me, oh my God, oh, but we'll hold our faces straight. Oh, I am a sucker for hearts, I'm a sucker for hearts. Your blood is pumping, I feel it in your veins, surfing your heat waves. Your taste is different, somehow it makes me brave. Chemical nature. Don't wanna move too fast. Your lips on the flaws, sipping on your love, sipping on your love. Oh, when you, oh my God, you know you play your cards so right. Oh, I am a sucker for hearts, listen to dirty clubs and diamonds. Take me, oh my God, oh, but we'll hold our faces straight. Oh, I am a sucker for hearts, I'm a sucker for hearts, hearts, hearts. I'm a sucker for hearts, hearts, hearts. I'm a sucker for hearts. Oh my God, I'm a fool, thought I'd never fall into you. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, it's so cruel how I'm loving the things you do. Ooh, yeah. Oh, when you, oh my God, you know you play your cards so right. Oh, I am a sucker for hearts, listen to dirty clubs and diamonds. Take me, oh my God, oh, but we'll hold our faces straight. Oh, I am a sucker for hearts, I'm a sucker for hearts, hearts, hearts. I'm a sucker for hearts, hearts, hearts. I'm a sucker for hearts. Too fast, your lips on my flaws, sipping on your love, sipping on your love. I'm a sucker for hearts.
Hi, hello. It has been a long time. I have missed doing these live streams. And I don't know, life just got busy. There's been a bunch of changes in my life. If you have followed me on YouTube in the last several months, then you guys know everything changing. I actually got some news today regarding that. So if you don't know, I am finishing certification to be an LPC, which stands for Licensed Professional Counselor. And I finished all the schooling. I have all the degrees and stuff. The last thing to do is take my tests. And then once I pass those, I'm good to start working and fully move into that and set my own schedule, which will be great because it means I can set my own schedule around writing time and make more space for that in my life than I've had in the past. And it'll be a whole lot more flexible and feasible for me. So I am super excited. Mental health is something I'm really passionate about. I've spoken several times about the subject online, And I found out today that I was approved to take my tests. So I scheduled both of them today because there are 2 I have to take, and I am taking them next week. So in the next few weeks, I could be finally utilizing my degree and working as a clinician, which is really exciting. Also, updates, other things that have happened today that I have not yet posted about on social media. So this, you guys here are the first ones getting it. I finished implementing my edits for Trial of Flame and Wings, my dragon book. I am super excited about it. I finished implementing that today. I already have a couple rough drafts of the blurb written out and created. And my goal for tonight's stream is to finalize a version of that anyway, or at least finalize a version of it I'm happy enough with to send off to my editor in my pitch so that we can begin collaborating together and I can get my book off to professional edits. So I've already done a couple round of edits myself. Now it's off to be looked at by somebody else. So that is what I'm hoping to finish tonight, is get that brief sent to my editor. She's expecting it. And so it won't be surprising for me to send it to her. She's kind of been expecting me to send it in the last week or two. So I'm excited that I'm finally finished with it and can send it off to somebody else soon. The other thing I would really like to get around to is to start writing on Curse of Blood and Sight, which is book 2 in the Curse of Wings series. So Angel and Lily are steamy vampire romance. I'm super excited to get back to that world. I have already written things, so this book is not like this won't be me starting it for the very first time, is what I mean. It will be me formally putting it into the Word document that will be the first draft. I have several different scenes written down and saved in my Google Drive, so I'll be taking those and piecing them together, taking a look at my outline as well. So those are my goals for tonight's stream. I am excited. So let me know, those of you who are with me. I've talked with a couple other people online on Instagram already about what their plans are for tonight. I know Wednesday is not a normal night for me to do these live streams, but I was going to work anyway. I have the night pretty much to myself. And so I thought, why not do a little bit of co-working and see who else wants to pop on to maybe live stream and join me while we work. That plus today, a lot of things happened besides the LPC stuff, finishing the edits. And I just thought it would be really fun to commemorate all of that in one video to share all of these updates with you guys. Of course, I will post them online as well, but because I always do. But I thought it would be fun to share it in real time with you guys and to start the official document for Curse of Blood and Sight live with you guys. So that is what we will be doing tonight. So I am excited. So, and I guess elephant in the room, I had originally planned to work tonight in my writing space, in my little writing room. It is still a bit of a work in progress, but it has come quite a long ways. That is where I do not quite a bit, but I do a bit of filming in there now for YouTube stuff. And I do a lot of work in there. But tonight, it is awfully close to my son's room, and it is a school night. And if this was any other night, I might go ahead and risk working in there with him just down the hall. But I decided, since it was a school night, it is just me here tonight, that I would add a little bit more separation. And so I actually moved my lights and all of my setup down the hall to the kitchen. So if you hear sounds in the background, it is because the dishwasher just finished its cycle. I was hoping everything on this side of the house would be finished and not noisy for this live stream. Cut it a little bit close with the dishwasher though. So if you hear beeping, that is what that is. But this is the space we had tonight. So eventually we will get around to the writing room. And also, I would love to bring a weekly live stream back to this YouTube channel. I know I've been saying that for a very, very long time since we stopped doing them about a year ago now, that I wanted to bring them back around. I stopped doing them originally because things got more complicated in my life with like some of the movement with my degree, finishing school. I was just doing a lot of things. Finn's schedule changed also. And so there's just been a lot of change. Alex, my husband, got a different job. I got a different job. Finn started school, started writing new books. I finished a degree, well, not a degree, but a like credentialing program and a college. And I was taking multiple night classes at one point. It was just wild. And I had to cut back on things. Running went, which made me very sad. If you don't know and you haven't watched the most recent video on this channel that got posted today, I actually have reintroduced my running routine back into my life, and I feel so much better. I love running so much. It is a hobby of mine for sure. It's a way to clear my mind. It keeps me healthy physically and mentally. And so I just adore it. So I'm excited that I'm bringing some of these things that I've really enjoyed in my personal life and also in my professional life as an author. I'm really excited to start implementing those again back into like a more consistent schedule. And these live streams are one of those things that I've missed. So I don't expect tonight's to be anything spectacular. I don't even know if very many of you will tune in or watch this back. But I just kind of, I mean, you have to start, right? Everyone has to get started. And sometimes that just takes jumping in before you maybe feel like all the pieces are there, because they're never all going to be there. You just have to get started, and things will happen and come as you are consistent about it and as you grow and develop more skills and get better. So that is what tonight is. So if you're here, well, welcome. Thanks for joining. I'm Amy Prokopis. If you're brand new and stumbled upon the stream, I am an indie author. I write romantasy, fantasy romance, lots of fun things. And I publish about 3 books a year. So my next book, Trial of Flame and Wings, is a more of a traditional fantasy style epic. It is a longer book. It is 106,109 words, I think. I just got the word counts finalized today, so I'll have to look back at that. But it's like a Fourth Wing, Serpent in the Wings of Night-esque fantasy story with some romance included in that will build throughout the series. It is a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed writing it. It's a lot edgier than some. I say it's a lot edgier, but it's much more militaristic and political than things I've written in a little while. I also will have, like I'd mentioned earlier, I'm going to work on Curse of Blood and Sight tonight, which is my vampire romance, and it is very much more of a romance first book, fantasy second. I love those characters so much, and it's also very steamy. Book 2 will get a bit spicier than book 1. It really depends on what your spice scale is. Some of my ARC readers said it was like a 4 out of 5 on the spice scale. I would say it's more of like a 2 to 3. Book 2 will be spicier for sure. So it really just depends on what you consider in the realm of spice. If you read a lot of dark romance, this is going to be pretty tame, at least to begin. So if that helps kind of gauge what that book's sort of like. And it is a vampire book. It is a vampire book where the main character discovers throughout book 1 something she didn't know about herself, grapples with a lot of anxiety and some past trauma. I bring a little bit of my therapy background into that one. And the vampire is a little bit of a tortured soul, as a lot of them tend to be, and is looking for the cure for vampirism to hopefully cure himself and become mortal again. And it's a whole journey. So I really love that book. Oh, there goes the dishwasher again, like I said. So I think, speaking about bells and whistles and alarms, I think now would be a fantastic time to bring up our timer. So what we will do, as we have done in the past, is we will do a 25-minute sprint. I will make this timer nice and big here in a second. So yeah, we're going to do 25 minutes. There we go. 25 minutes on the clock. Going to work for a little bit. I am going to take a look at my blurb for Trial of Flame and Wings. And if I'm pleased with it, I'm going to use the 25 minutes to finish drafting out my brief to my editor for that book and get that sent off. And if not, then I'll tweak it. But the goal I'm setting for myself is to finish the blurb at least good enough to send to my editor, because I can always tweak it later, but finish the blurb and finish the brief and get them sent to my editor. So that is the plan. That is what we are going to do for this first sprint. And then we will check back in, chat, and see more about what's going on. So here's our first sprint. Don't forget to like and subscribe here on YouTube down below if you haven't already, because I do plan to bring back these live streams more consistently. It's just a really fun time to get a bit of work done. So join me if they're interesting. So here we go. First sprint of the night. 3, 2, 1, sprint. Welcome back. So that was the end of our first sprint. Super, super exciting. Jacob's here. Hello, Jacob. Yes, I am timing myself. I am doing productivity sprints. Also in the world of authordom, known as writing sprints, where we'll write for a set amount of time and then do something else, which is chat on here for a set amount of time. Very, very fun. Jacob is new to YouTube, or not new to YouTube, but new to the channel. I don't recognize Jacob being on here. I do know Jacob in other capacities, but through like author space. He helped me out in the past with an author event, which was awesome. So yeah, we do writing sprints. We work a little bit and then we chat a little bit. And so, yes, sprint number 1 for me was very productive. I actually, I kind of forget. In the past, I used to do like goal setting and updates in the chat section as well, just so like I could keep track. Everyone else could keep track. We could chat back and forth about our progress and our goals. So check mark, because I accomplished the goal for the first sprint. All right. So sprint number 1, goals. I accomplished it. So I should have elaborated in the chat. The goal, if you are just tuning in, for sprint number 1 for me was to get my blurb for Trial of Flame and Wings to a point where I liked it enough, at least, to send it along with my brief to my editor. I've used the same editor forever and ever and ever. She edited, the only book she has not edited for me was my very first one, which is The Arena. She was the editor on the entire Guardians of the Six Gate trilogy, my winter series, Curse of Wings and Darkness, and I am using her again for Trial of Flame and Wings. I have already discussed a little bit with her what this project is about, just so she could get kind of a timeline and how much time she might need to devote to this project. So it's already on her radar. She's been expecting a formal brief from me for a little bit now, and it's just taken me a little bit longer to get all of my ducks in a row because this is a longer project. This will be the longest book I think I have published. It's definitely not the longest I've ever written. I've actually written a book a bit longer than this, included in a whole series that I may get back to eventually, but this will be the longest book I have yet to publish, which is exciting. So goal number 1 for sprint number 1 was to finish the blurb and the brief and send it to my editor. And if I had time left over, I also wanted to open up a document and at least get everything set up in my Word document to write Curse of Blood and Sight. I was able to do all of those things, which is amazing. The timer went off as I was pulling up my notes for Curse of Blood and Sight, my outline, and I do have my Word document on this side of the screen pulled up and ready to go. I've also pulled up my playlist. Hiccups. I've also pulled up my playlist for Curse of Blood and Sight that I created, or not Curse of Blood and Sight, but Curse of Wings and Darkness. When I write, especially a new series, or really any book that has like a separate vibe, it's not in any particular series, I create a playlist, usually on YouTube. And in the past, after I have completed the book, I have made that playlist public, so everyone could go on and then get the vibes of the story and everything that I used for inspiration while writing it. I have not done that in a little while. The Arena playlist, I believe, is public on my YouTube channel. So yeah, I pulled up that just to get some vibes going. I may branch out and get some like new collections of music for this book, but I have everything ready to sit down and start drafting Curse of Blood and Sight, which is really exciting. I will have to take a bit of time on this next sprint to look through my outline. So if you are new to me, it's Dan Brown, the author Dan Brown. It's his method, I believe, the 7-point plot outline. So it's similar to like Plot Mountain, the 3-act structure, except that there are 7 points within it. So there's the hook, which is like what, grips everybody in the very, very beginning, sets the scene, sets all your characters and motivations. And then there's plot point 1, which is the inciting incident to a lot of people. Pinch point 1, which is the conflict is introduced or the bad guy. Midpoint, major event that changes the strategy. Pinch point 2, the good guys move forward with their final plan, but they run into an issue. And then plot point 2, which is the peak kind of the story. And no, a lot of people consider the midpoint to be the peak. However, I do think this is kind of something within my writing style or becoming something to use this plot point 2, that 3rd act. In romance and in the world of romance, they call it like a 3rd act breakup, where like something major happens right near the end of the book. And I think that kind of fits my style a bit, because plot point 2 for me is always the peak of the emotional or like the dramatic intensities at its highest there. And that's usually when the good guys and the bad guys have like the largest face off, or like the entire issue within the book gets addressed. And then of course there's like resolution and stuff after that. But that's essentially my outlining method. I am a pantser. So for me, I usually only do those 7 points, and they're maybe like a few sentences at most. And that is my outline. It is on one single page. I can see the whole thing at once. And a lot of times it is incomplete. And in the case of Curse and Blood and Sight, my outline is incomplete. I did get more detailed than I tend to with my outlines. Each of these 7 points that I have filled out anyway have like a paragraph, because I have that much detail already figured out in my brain. I know where I want to go. I always leave space for myself to like riff on it as we get going. I do discovery write within the draft, and I leave myself space in my outline in order to do that. So that's why I'm not much of an outliner, because I do like to discover things as we go. So in the case of Curse and Blood and Sight, I only have the first 4 out of 7 points filled out. So there are 3 that are not, and the resolution is one of them. Funnily enough, I do know where the book's going to end in order for us to move forward with the next one, with book 3. I just don't know exactly a few details near the end. I really think I'm going to have to discovery write a little bit of that in the first half of the book, and that will really fill out the ending for me. There's one detail in particular, one little storyline that will be in this book that I am not entirely sure exactly which direction I want to go with. I have like 2 storylines there, and I'm just not sure which one I want to pick. And so I think I'm going to need to set the scene and put my characters in motion all together to figure that out. So we will see. But that is what we will be jumping into with sprint number 2. So that is the next project. Hopefully everything has been good for the rest of you guys. I've been communicating a little bit online with people, mostly Instagram, texting a couple buddies and such. So yeah, it has been a good night for me so far. I got a lot done in the first 25 minutes. So for sprint number 2, we are going to yet again do another 25 minutes. In the second sprint, make sure that you like the live stream down below. If you have not already, maybe leave a comment down below with what you are working on for the night. What's your big goal for the night? Or maybe we are halfway into the week. So what is something that you are looking forward to or wanting to accomplish? And by the end of the week, maybe for some motivation, leave that in the comment section. And yeah, we will get going with our second sprint of the night. Usually in these live streams, we only do 3 sprints. I don't like to go too much longer than an hour in these live streams because I feel a little like I start to lose people. I also start to feel a little bit like it's not as productive for me, or not so much that it's not productive, but sometimes I find myself wishing that I could just write and not do the sprints so much, and just because now I'm fully engaged in the story. But since it is Wednesday and it is a work day tomorrow for most of us and school for my son, I think we'll just do the typical 3 sprints for us tonight. So yeah. Oh, that's another thing. Maybe let me know in the comments or in the chat if you would like to do another live stream like this week. I am toying with the idea of using Friday afternoon to do some sprints. I know a lot of people are at work during the day on Fridays. Where I am, we take a half day. And so I will be home, and that is a dedicated writing day for me. And so I might do some sprinting Friday afternoon. I don't know for sure. I just think it would be kind of fun. But I also don't know if anyone's really going to tune in or not. So we will see. I also had an idea to start bringing on some of my writer friends into these live streams just to have more conversation and maybe share some things about each other and our books, and just a different way to collaborate with some people. It's a lot of cross promotion, if you will. So if that sounds interesting, also let me know, and maybe drop some names and tell your author friends if you would like them to come and work with me live in these live streams. So yeah, but anyway, let's go ahead, get into our second sprint of the night. I am going to start putting together Curse of Blood and Sight. I am very, very excited. Oh, all right, I cannot wait to get into this book. So hopefully when we will come back in 25 minutes, I will have at least drafted a little bit on the page for you guys to read. I'm excited. So yeah, let's get started. So second sprint starting in 3, 2, 1, sprint. All right. I am 600 words into Curse of Blood and Sight. Oh, I'm loving it already. It's really getting me like, I'm getting in the scene right now. I'm setting all the scene. And yeah, it's a dark one. There are things about Curse of Wings and Darkness was dark also as far as like subject matter, because we're talking about trauma. There's mention of a past assault. And yeah, so that book is dark. This book is darker in like a different way. There's none of that kind of material, but that's all been passed. And now we're dealing with like supernatural monsters and what it means to be a monster, and like the difference morally between basically we're like grappling in a gray area, especially where Angel is concerned, because as we know, he hates being a vampire, but there are things that are necessary with being a vampire. Like there's no substitute for his diet, so to speak. So in some ways this book is darker, and it definitely starts out on that dark tone. So it has taken me a little bit to like get into the scene. And so coming back to you guys now and talking so excitedly about getting back to writing and feeling accomplished, it's definitely a strange shift from that mindset I was just in, of this kind of like horror-esque chapter. So it's a little strange, but I did get 600 words written. So we have officially started drafting Curse of Blood and Sight, which I am super excited for. Yee! Oh my goodness, I cannot wait to share more of this book with you guys. So hopefully it has been really productive for you guys. It is 9:46. I am definitely going to do at least one more sprint with you guys. I may even wrap up the live stream and write a little more. That's what I tend to do in these live streams, is I tend to do the 3 sprints with all of you guys, 25 minutes each, and then I tend to go off and write a little bit more, at least to a point where I feel like I'm like wrapped up for the night for myself. Because it is really difficult for me to just shift after the timer goes off and say, yep, that's it, that's done, bye guys, and then go to bed. That's really difficult for me. So yeah, that is probably what we will do. So the goal for sprint number 2 was good. It was just to start writing Curse of Blood and Sight. I got 600 words. That is amazing. Let me put that in the comments also. Sprint number 2, I wrote, oopsie, 600 words of Curse of Blood and Sight. So that is really exciting. I am very pleased with that. So we are going to continue with that. That is what I'm hoping to do a lot of this week, is just write on Curse of Blood and Sight. Continue on with this. So yeah, we will do one more sprint for tonight. Make sure, if you're not, to hop over to amyprokopis.com and subscribe to my newsletter. If you don't, I send it out every month. It is the only place where you can get like a rundown of what's coming for that month. That is something I only put out in the newsletter. I don't even put that out. Well, I do put that out in Patreon also. So I do have the Patreon. They get exclusive content. I'm planning to bring exclusive chapters and a lot of sneak peeks of Trial of Flame and Wings to my Patreon. So you can check that out there for just $5 if you would like to become a member. I do also post things publicly for free. So if you want to just become a free member, you can also do that on Patreon and go do that there, because there is information I put out on Patreon that is available to everybody that is a little different than what I put on other social media platforms. So at least be a free member, because we have some fun over there. And also, I've opened up my shop. That's new since we've live streamed last. I have a signed bookshop up on amyprokopis.com. You can go check that out. I am not super well stocked right now. I will restock-ish because I do have a book event in April coming up. And so I will take what I have and then purchase a little bit more to take with me. And whatever I have left over from that event, I will list on my website so that those of you could get that if you want it. But I do have quite a few copies of Winter Witches. So if you would like a copy of that book, there are quite a few of those there to snag on my website in the shop tab. So that's new. Really fun stuff. I'm hoping to do more book events in 2025. I set the goal for the year of doing 5. I have done, I think, just the one so far. It was not an event where I was selling books, but it was an event where I was invited to be a speaker, which was really fun. So I got to I got to speak about publishing and the industry and just life as a creative in general, which was super fun. I love doing that kind of stuff. I don't do speaking events super often, but I do feel like that is an avenue that I might be interested in exploring a little bit more. I do have ideas for like a particular series / speech thing I could do. So I don't know if that's something that maybe I could just pitch to people, but speaking engagements, never something I ever thought that I would do at all. But I do kind of enjoy doing that, speaking to people, being heard, and just expressing ideas that hopefully help others, especially in a like the creative world, because the arts are definitely not taken as seriously as they should. They're very undervalued, and so anytime I can help uplift that, I really like to do that. So a few events coming up and other fun things. So definitely check out my website because I will be listing a lot of that information there for 2025. So now, third sprint of the night, we're going to do another 25 minutes and then leave it at that for the live stream. Make sure to let me know below if you'd like to do another one of these this week. I've already said that, but I think I may do Friday afternoon. I really would like to bring back the Sunday night live stream just because I think as far as our schedules go and dedicated writing time, I do a lot of weekly planning on Sundays. And so I think wrapping my head around the week, kicking it off with a good start. Sunday nights were really nice nights to do live streams, at least around my house. And so, yeah, maybe we will bring back the Sunday night live stream and get a bit of writing done that way. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think, what you might want to do if that's interesting to you. Let me know a day or an evening. It would have to be an evening that is interesting to you. Yeah. So last sprint of the night, 25 minutes up on the clock. We are going to do the last one. My goal for the third sprint is just to continue writing. I got 600 words in sprint number 2. So it would be amazing if I could get another 600 words in sprint number 3. So we will see if that is doable. I do think it is. We're getting it. I've already set the groundwork. I've set the scene. And now we're actually getting into the fun piece of this first chapter. So we will see. I may surpass that. So sprint number 3, last one of the night, in 3, 2, 1, sprint. Alrighty. So that is the end of our sprint. How far am I? I'm over 1,000 words. So I at least matched, or pretty close to, what I did in sprint number 2. So I would say sprint number 3 made good progress. Just as a recap for the night, I got my brief sent off to my editor. I also am pretty pleased actually with where my book blurb is for Trial of Flame and Wings. So all of that is out there. The next step is moving on to professional edits with my editor. And so the book is out of my hands for now. I won't return to that until she sends it back to me. So probably not until next month. So now I am fully shifting my focus to writing Curse of Blood and Sight, which is really exciting. And so I started that tonight like I wanted to. So it has been a really productive almost 2 hours of sprinting. I know I said earlier that I try not to let these sprints go too far over an hour, but I forget that we used to only go for 20-minute sprints at a time, not 25. And I also had a lot to share with you guys. So it was a longer night for sure. So that is where we will leave it. I'm not going to make this any longer than it already is. So if you would like to sprint again later in the week, maybe you think doing a Friday afternoon would be like a good, fun idea, let me know in the comment section. I also think it would be kind of fun. So let me know. And Sunday night, I am still thinking about whether or not I want to bring back the Sunday night live stream this week, or if I want to do a little bit more planning and maybe bring that back in another week or two. So I don't know. We will see. So whatever may happen, keep your eyes set on the channel. Make sure that you have subscribed down below so that you don't miss out on anything. Hit the notification so it will let you know when the next live stream is. And make sure to follow me on all of my social media accounts because I post all of my daily updates and stuff there and just let you know where I am in the process. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I think that's everything. Yeah. So thanks for joining me. I hope it was interesting. I hope you got a lot done because I feel like I really did. And I am going to actually continue my night a little bit and finish up writing, maybe finish chapter 1 of Curse of Blood and Sight tonight. I don't know. So we'll see where the night takes me. But thanks for joining me. As always, guys, read books, be kind, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!